Hello, happy Sunday. This is Franklin here. Hope you're doing very well. Quick question. What is one thing that we all have in common, even though many a times some people live in denial about it? Can you guess? Fear. Yes, fear. We all experience fear, even though, again, a number of times people feel that they don't experience any form of fear at all. And you know what? At some point in my life, I used to be one of those guys. Whenever someone asked me back then what I was afraid of, I would kind of like raise my shoulders up and bring my chest out and say, nah, I'm not afraid of anything. As if now I was Superman or Macho Man. Even Superman had something he was afraid of, kryptonite. So I was acting like I was Superman, even though Superman was afraid of something. But looking back in time, it became really very clear to me that part of the reason that fear had a grip on me was because I was living in denial of fear. And that's why fear had power to control my life. But thankfully, I learned to acknowledge my fears and see fear just like every other kind of emotion. For example, the joy, the sadness, the surprise, all of those emotions, they are all natural emotions, and fear is just one of them. Oh, by the way, before I move on, if you haven't subscribed, I want to just ask you to make a request that you can to subscribe to my channel and comment and like as well. Well, back to fear. Fear is just as any form of emotion, and I realized that as I began to acknowledge my fears, in fact, fear began to lose its grip of me. Obviously, fear is not always a bad thing, it's neutral. In fact, there are some good purposes that fear serves. One very good example. So let's say that you are walking down the street and you spotted an unrestrained lion or tiger or bear in front of you. The fear of being eaten alive will literally prompt you to run for your life. And you know what? You definitely should run for your life at that time because you want to keep yourself alive, right? So in a case like that, fear serves a very good purpose because it keeps us alive. On the other hand, the cases where fear is negative would be cases where it tries to deter us from making progress towards our goals. That's when fear definitely needs to be addressed. Maybe you have a goal to launch that YouTube channel like this one, or you have a goal to start that business, or you have a goal to make that call, but fear has been holding you back. In cases like that, we definitely need to face fear head on and grab the bull by its horn. Generally speaking, there are three different ways by which we relate to fear. I'll be sharing those three different ways as an acronym for the word fear. FEAR. And also be including some snippets of different moments of my journey where I experienced the three of them. So the first one is forget everything and run. That's like the flight, where they say fight or flight. That's like the flight response when we're triggered. And in cases like this, we feel that we don't have what it takes to overcome the fear. We believe our doubts and we doubt our belief. So whenever fear comes knocking on our door, we run away to the hills. Like we run and we never look back. I remember the first time I joined Toastmasters, I had the idea of improving my public speaking. So I joined Toastmasters. First time I met those guys there, I was obviously terrified and petrified and had like sweaty palms and everything. The one thing that I just did not want was for someone up there to ask me to do some form of speaking, to call me up. And obviously it happened. And obviously that made me even more uncomfortable. I think I went back there one more time or two more times. And after that, I was just like, I'm done, man. I was very terrified. I just did not want to continue. So I quit. I ran and I never went back, you know. So um, forget everything and write. Sorry, forget everything and run. It's definitely a real response to fear. The other one that the other acronym for fear, sorry, is to is the false evidence appearing real. You may have heard about this one. So this is what happens usually when we visualize all the negative what if thoughts around the action we're looking to take towards our goals, and we play the movie of all the things that could possibly go wrong, that we forget about and ignore the possibilities of things going right. And because in life we generally get what we focus mostly on, those negative things that we focus more on, they just tend to happen. I remember the early phase of me speaking, just standing in front of an audience. Whenever I was getting ready, man, I was always terrified. I was always uncomfortable. I was always afraid. And guess what? I was mostly almost always focusing on all the things that could go wrong, how I was going to mess up, how I was going to flop. And you know what? I messed up big time. In fact, I messed up so bad that subsequently, whenever people saw me going on stage, they were already just gonna start laughing at me because they knew that I was going to go and mess up. So that's how bad it was, you know. And again, the false evidence appearing real. That's exactly what happened because I was almost always focusing on on things going bad, and they ended up going terrible, you know, like I focused on. But then there's a third one. The third acronym for fear is face everything and rise. That's the one, obviously, that occurs when we believe that we have what it takes to make it happen. We feel the fear, but you know what? We do it anyway because we know again that we are capable of achieving great things. I still talking about my speaking journey. One of the times when I exhibited this was literally just jumping out and putting myself out there, creating content. I remember the first couple times that I created content, man, I was very, very terrified. I was afraid, a lot of fear of criticism, fear of success, fear of failure, so many different fears battling with me. But I was like, yeah, I'm just going to do it anyway. I'm just going to keep posting content and creating content that I believe would impact people. And man, I've been doing this for close to 3 years now. And I'm just very grateful for the different people who have benefited from the videos that I create and post. But again, everything happened because I forgot about I faced the fear, and things are just things are going up. Obviously, going up. Everything is just up and down. But generally speaking, it just keeps getting better and better. So face everything and rise. So I don't know about you right now, which of these three acronyms of fear that you're currently dealing with at this point, wherever it is that you are. I just want to let you know that the third option is definitely possible. And I believe that it's also the option that we want to strive towards. I believe it was Jack Canfield. He is the co-author of the world-renowned, multiple-time best-selling book series, Chicken Soup for the Soul. He once said that everything you want is on the other side of fear. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. 100%, completely, absolutely, wholeheartedly, I believe and agree with that statement. And so, as we are wrapping up 2023 and getting ready for 2024, I would just like to join you and invite you and also challenge you to adopt that same mindset when it comes to fear. That whenever you think about fear, face everything and rise. So think about that acronym and let that be the way that you relate with fear from today and even going on. The truth of the matter is, fear is always going to be knocking on our door, and we cannot always respond to fear in the same way. At some points, we definitely just want to break out and break free from the grip of fear and look fear in the face and just tell it that you're not afraid anymore. You face the fear, you feel the fear, and you do it anyway. I believe that when we face fear like that, that is when we apply the face everything and rise, we're going to be unstoppable, and we're going to achieve those big dreams and big goals that we set our heart, our mind on. And I believe that's definitely going to be very key for us as we strive towards achieving fulfillment and purpose in our life. So that's something I wanted to share with you today, and I hope that you have an amazing and an unstoppable and great week ahead. It's been Franklin here. Don't forget that you're more than enough, you're worthy, you're deserving, you're loved. Have a nice one. Take care. God bless and peace.